These are my week 2 picks and predictions. Week 1 was not good for me, man. 10-6. I always start off pretty rough. I mean, week 1s are just weird, man. I can't even like lie to you. I expected this, and honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was worse because week 1s are usually pretty weird. But I think I'm confident about these upcoming weeks because it's like we have a little bit of I guess tape on the other teams in terms of like highlights, and I feel good about week 2 because there were some games that I did hesitate on. But one thing I've learned, guys, is you got to go with your first gut. That is key. I usually tend to go with my second gut or like my second thinking. I just second guess, and then it ends up costing me in the end. So I just wanted to say that quickly. I mean, that's just the annoying part about picks. So I've kind of learned to trust my first gut with some of these. I mean, obviously, there's the second gut you got to go with eventually because sometimes your second gut is your, that's it is right at times. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to get into that real quick. Before we get into the picks, guys, as it's being recorded, it's the 23rd anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the active, passengers prevented even more heartbreaking destruction. The darkest day in American history. So I just want to give a quick tribute to pretty much everybody that was involved. They played, a crucial role. May God bless, all 3,000 plus people who died, and all the families that are grieving from that day. Still, it's going to be remembered in our nation's history forever. But the wound is still fresh even 23 years later. So just want to get that out there, man. On to NFL picks, however. We have a pretty good Thursday night matchup. We have an AFC East division matchup. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to Miami to play the Miami Dolphins. So in week 1, the Dolphins fell to the Jags in the first half, 17-7, and their defense completely shut Trevor Lawrence down, and they ended up, snagging the win 20-17. Tua's connection with Tyreek Hill, man, I mean, especially with Tyreek being arrested that same morning. The Dolphins, I mean, Tyreek Hill looked really good, and Tua's connection with Tyreek, that was just special, man. I mean, they rallied behind their quarterback, man. Tua threw for 330 plus yards or something like that, I saw. Hill had an 80-yard touchdown. Miami, just they needed that, man. Miami's was, pretty good in the third quarter, especially. I mean, they shut down Trevor Lawrence twice on the final drive. Buffalo, they handled the Cardinals. I mean, their defense looked rough. I mean, Josh Allen, I think he had like 4 total touchdowns. I read something like that. I didn't watch, the game entirely, but he did have 1 turnover, I believe, and the Bills' defense did allow Kyler Murray to kind of move the ball with a little bit of ease in the second half, especially. But that Bills' offense is still potent, man. I mean, I think that they have a tough break in terms of their defense because I think they do have gaps that Miami can really exploit on the ground and in the air. And because of that, Bills' defensive struggles in week 1, it's going to be a tough game for both teams. But I'm actually going to pick the Miami Dolphins in this one. It's kind of a doubtful, so I'm going to go home team. But I wouldn't be surprised if this goes either way. But I think Miami, I think they want to get rolling. And I think both these teams want to get off to a hot start. I think Buffalo will eventually come back and take them in the division because I do have Buffalo winning the AFC East. But I think Miami can really, at least in this game, put it on them. I think the Bills could get them in Buffalo. But as far as this game, guys, I feel more confident in the Dolphins. They're the home team, and they have some momentum, especially in the second half. And Buffalo, I mean, they struggled against a Cardinals team that I think is underrated. But I'm going to pick the Dolphins here. Now we move to Sunday games, guys. We got the San Francisco 49ers heading to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, Minnesota, to play the Minnesota Vikings. So the 49ers, they look like one of the best teams in week 1, obviously. As I'm recording this, this a couple hours after they just dominated the Jets 32-19. Despite missing Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, he stepped in big time, man. I mean, he rushed for over 130 yards or something like that, and he had a touchdown on 28 carries, I believe. So I think that ground game is, they're going to be just fine with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that offensive line is so solid. Deebo Samuel, he had a touchdown today, I believe. That defense was good, man. I mean, they shut down that Jets offense most of the game. I mean, I think after the first drive, they were pretty quiet, and the Jets could only muster. I mean, they had 2 drives over 17 yards in the first 3 quarters, which is just crazy. And then you look at the Vikings. I mean, they handled the Giants 28-6. Sam Darnold played well. He completed his first, I saw something that he completed his first, 12 passes. That Giants defense, I do think they're okay, but I think that they have a little bit of gaps that Minnesota definitely exploited. And Minnesota's own defense was good, but they have just a tough test, and I think San Francisco is a little more battle tested with they played obviously the Jets defense, which is obviously much better than the Giants defense. So I actually have the 49ers covering the spread here, and I have them winning 30-14. Minnesota, I mean, I'm happy for them because they've been through hell this offseason, but I don't know. This game is a tough challenge for them, man. I don't know how they're going to do. So I'm actually going to pick the 49ers to beat the Vikings by, pretty good, like 16, 17 points. And next up, we got another Sunday matchup at 1 p.m. We have a rematch of Super Bowl 49. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to New England to play the Patriots. New England's defense, I mean, they just completely shut us out. I mean, they held Joe Burrow to 163 yards passing. They had two fumbles, Charlie Jones and Tanner Hudson. What a great strip that was. Ramondre Stevenson, he dominated on the ground. He had 110 yards, I believe, and he had a touchdown as well. Gerard Mayo had a great plan. Obviously, they gave him a Gatorade bath at the end, and they just completely fooled Joe Burrow pretty much all game. And I said this in my preview. The Patriots are known for having a disciplined defense, and they control the game pretty well. They have a history of that. Seattle, I mean, they had a sluggish start to that 26-20 win over the Broncos. Their first two scores were defensive. So I think Kenneth Walker had a strong third quarter. Geno Smith had a little bit of a rough game, man. I mean, he struggled against the Broncos defense, and the Patriots defense, I think, could give him more problems. Especially on the road in a hostile environment, because New England is still a very hostile environment. I think Geno Smith's gonna have time, or gonna have like a rough time against that Patriots defense. Because of the Patriots' defensive strength, as shocking as this is, I'm picking the Patriots to upset the Seahawks at home. The New England Patriots are going to be 2-0 to start the season. How about that? Yeah, I mean they're I'm not even saying that because they beat us, but like they're at home facing an inconsistent Seattle Seahawks team. I don't see why they can't win. So I'll pick the home team here. It's another when in doubt, go home team, I guess, but I feel pretty good about the Patriots pick. Now, next up, we got an NFC East matchup. We have the New York Giants traveling to the nation's capital to play the Washington Commanders. So the Commanders, they couldn't really do much. Baker Mayfield absolutely exploited them. And, Daniel Jones, I mean, he like I said, I'm not very sold on Danny Dimes, man. I'm sorry. I get the Danny Dimes, the nickname is cool, but he had 2 interceptions. He had a pick 6. I think he was sacked 5 times behind that leaky offensive line that they have. And the Giants' offensive line has never been good in, I think probably a decade. I mean, the defense just had the defense had some good moments, but they just couldn't capitalize against the Vikings. And, the Washington's defensive line should be able to overwhelm the Giants, and I think, creating more pressure on Jones, because I think that's his biggest nightmare. I think Washington bounces back here, honestly. I'm going to pick the Commanders to win. Feel pretty good about it. I think that they're out for blood this game, and it's a division rival, a weak opponent in my opinion. Obviously, the Bengals were playing at the same time, so it was tough for me to catch it. But I did see, they had a little bit of a rough outing. I mean, you can expect that though, because with the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, I mean, he's still fresh. He threw for I think 170 yards or something like that. He was more of the manager of the game, but Baker, I mean, he threw for 4 touchdowns on that San Francisco or that Washington Commanders defense. So I think that's a problem for them. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to pick the Commanders to this one. I mean, the Giants are 0-2 after this week, in my opinion, and I don't think anybody's shocked by that. Now we go to the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Carolina to play the Carolina Panthers. The Chargers, J.K. Dobbins, man, how about that? 135 yards on the first 10 carries. Wow. The defense came through, forcing 3 turnovers, I believe. Jim Harbaugh, I mean, he showed the power rushing attack, man. He showed the balance that the Chargers have. The Chargers defense looked like a well-oiled machine against the Raiders, man. And then you look at the Panthers. I mean, 47-10, guys. What are you doing? Bryce Young, I think he threw a pick on his first play. The offense just never recovered. That set the tone for the entire game. Carolina's defense was pretty bad, too. I mean, Derek Carr, I think, had an 83% completion percentage. I'm definitely above 80%. I saw something like that. And then he gave up. Alvin Kamara busted all over the Carolina rush D. So Chargers got a strong running game, and that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, especially given the Carolina run defense along with the Chargers rushing attack. That's absolutely recipe for disaster. Um, I think Alvin Kamara had like not 100 yards. Sorry, he had like I think 75, 80 yards, but still, I mean, he had a pretty solid game. So I'm actually picking the Los Angeles Chargers. I could see Bryce Young maybe coming along and possibly pulling an upset, but I don't know. Based on Week 1 and how they looked, I have to pick the Chargers for this one. And next up, guys, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Big D to play the Dallas Cowboys. How about the Cowboys, man? They defeated the Browns. Good shit, Dallas. Thank you, guys. From a Bengals fan, they wrapped up. I think they had 6 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence played well. I think Eric Kendricks had a couple sacks. But yeah, they absolutely demolished Deshaun Watson in the season opener. That is so. I think that the special teams have like a good. I think they contributed 19 points. They had a punt return touchdown. Like I said, I just talked about the Saints. They had a 47-10 win. Derek Carr had over 80% completion percentage. The Cowboys' defense is going to be a much tougher challenge than the Carolina Panthers were. Like the Cowboys held the Browns to 164 yards passing. Granted, I don't think Deshaun Watson is good anymore. I think that the Browns honestly got to go to Jameis Winston, but anyway, I'll talk about that when I get into their matchup. But I think Derek Carr. I mean, it's a tough challenge for him against this Cowboys defense. I think that he can definitely exploit it. I mean, I'm not very high on Derek Carr, but I have to give him a lot of credit for that. That Week 1 performance, that was incredible, man. So good shit, Derek Carr. And if Dallas can pressure Derek Carr, which I think they definitely can, I think that they can win this pretty handily though. So I'm gonna pick the Cowboys to get a home win here over the New Orleans Saints, maybe. So give me the Cowboys over the Saints. I think it's going to be a good game, tougher than what most people, I guess, are thinking. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys. And next up, guys, let's go to Green Bay. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Green Bay Packers. So Anthony Richardson, I didn't see much of the game, but he had some rookie mistakes. I think he overthrew a couple touchdowns. I saw he had 3 touchdowns, I believe. And the Colts, I mean, they lost to the Texans, yes. But that's a damn good team over there in Houston, man. So I think he had like over 200. He had over 200 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. The Colts defense, I mean, they were absolutely gashed by the run. So Josh Jacobs it's gonna be important for him to come through here. Jordan Love had a good game, against the Eagles. He looked very promising. I mean, obviously he got hurt with the MCL, and that's the biggest deciding factor for me, man. The Packers, I really thought they had a lot of promise. It just sucks because like Jordan Love, he completed only 50% of his passes, but he really looked like he had no fear of that Eagles defense, man. I mean, he just absolutely wanted to put it on them, and I got to give him a lot of credit, man. I think they started a rookie kicker that ended up backfiring on them as well, because of the extra point miss and Love's MCL injury. It just adds some further concerns for me. That Colts' ability to move the ball, especially how they did against Houston, even in the loss. I think that Green Bay's weak run defense is going to get exposed. So I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to actually pull off a win over the Green Bay Packers. It really sucks for the Packers, man. I mean, they finally have something rolling with Jordan Love, and they can really come along, but then he just goes down on the last play of the game, or the second to last play of the game. That really sucks. So yeah, it really has to actually pain if you're a Packers fan. I'm a Bengals fan. But yeah, that really sucks for the Packers. So anyway, give me the Colts over the Packers here by kind of default because Jordan loves it, and we'll see how Malik Willis does. Now we head to Jacksonville. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags, they started strong, but they fell apart in the second half, man. Trevor Lawrence absolutely disappeared. I think he threw like for 30 yards after halftime. I think Travis Etney had a fumble, and he had a possible game-sealing touchdown. Just couldn't he just fumbled. I think. Despite this mistake, though, I think Jacksonville's defense, they stepped up great, especially against that great Miami offense. But yeah, Travis Etienne, man, that's a tough break for him. The Browns, though, I just talked about them. They looked absolutely broken in their Week 1 loss to the Cowboys. Deshaun Watson had like a 53% completion percentage. He had 2 really bad interceptions. That offensive line, I thought that the Cleveland's defensive line was going to punish the Dallas's offensive line. The reverse happened. He was sacked 6 times, 2 by each defender. I said DeMarcus Lawrence and I think Eric Kendricks. So that Browns offense, they struggle to move the ball, and Nick Chubb is, again, like he's missing the first half of the year. The Jags are completely capable of bouncing back. I do not see them falling 0-2 at home. I see the Browns falling to 0-2 any day over the Jaguars. So give me the Jaguars over the Browns in this one. I think they can handle. I think that defense can still cause Trevor Lawrence some havoc, just like Miami did in the second half. But at the end of the day, I'm going with the home team here. Next up, guys, we got the New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans. The Jets got absolutely just destroyed in week one by the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers looked really rusty. The offense just could not get going outside of the first half. Rodgers had some moments of brilliance, but the receivers didn't help him out. I think that he was yelling at his receivers. I saw some of that, but the offense just sputtered most of the game, man. Jordan Mason just absolutely ran all over them. The Titans also, they blew a 17-0 lead to Caleb Williams and the Bears. Caleb Williams did not have a good game, but they still, yeah. And that defense just absolutely, like the Bears didn't even score an offensive touchdown. But that defense absolutely balled. Will Levis, he threw a bad pick six as well. The offensive, miscues is just too much to overcome, man. And the Jets' defensive potential matched with the Titans' offense, offensive struggles. In this case, I would have leaned home team, but I'm gonna go with the Jets here. I think that Rodgers shakes off some of the rust that he had in week one, even with his flashes of brilliance. The defensive potential, like I said, is gonna really cause Tennessee some problems here. I know New York's they're highly touted. They gave up 147 rushing yards. The run defense is supposed to be really good, and it just wasn't. So I'm going with the Jets in this one. Give me the Jets over the Titans. Now we go to another 1:00 matchup. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Another playoff rematch for the Detroit Lions. They beat the Rams, obviously, in overtime. And they nearly blew a 17-3 lead to the Rams. Detroit's run game, it was just pathetic. They led by David Montgomery. They powered them in the extra period. I'm sorry. The Rams' run defense was pathetic in overtime. Jameson Williams had a breakout game. It's interesting because the Bucs, they look really good too. I can't lie. They absolutely killed the Commanders, and Baker Mayfield threw for 289 yards and yet 4 touchdowns. Like I said, I think that Detroit's ability to run the ball. I think that the Lions edge one out here. This is just a Lions game to lose, but these are not your typical Detroit Lions, I won't lie. But games like this, they just tend to drop. And, I don't think they made a complete transformation, obviously. They have a lot of potential this year. So I wouldn't be surprised at an upset here, but I'm actually going to pick the Detroit Lions. And good for them, man. Starting 2-0, especially given how much they've struggled over the years. As a Bengals fan, I can empathize and sympathize with them. I think they have a good start here, man. I don't know if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but I think that they're going to start 2-0. That's all I got to say about this one. And next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Maryland to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, a tough loss to the Chiefs, man, by an inch, literally an inch. Lamar Jackson had nearly 400 total yards. He was a little bit mid in the first half, but he had a bad red zone completion percentage. I think he had under 15%. And that ended up costing them the win. Obviously, the missed pass to Zay Flowers. Isaiah Likely played like an absolute monster. I thought he was hurt on that last play, but he got up and nearly damn near made a touchdown. On the other end, the Raiders, they missed a lot of key opportunities against the Chargers. They turned the ball over. J.K. Dobbins ran all over them. I think Derrick Henry is going to do the absolute same. I just think that the Las Vegas can't capitalize on these chances, man. I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome the Ravens offense. And the Ravens, they tend to blow out some opponents that they're supposed to beat, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. And this is actually my lock of the week. I think the Ravens are pissed off, and going into an inferior opponent, or playing an inferior opponent at home. In my opinion, I just think that that's going to fuel them even more. I just don't see how they don't win. I'm going to pick the Ravens in a lock. And next up, guys, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. So let's take a look at the Cardinals, man. They fell apart in the second half. Kyler Murray looked decent. I think he threw for only 30 yards in the second half, but they did have a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. They still managed to push Buffalo to the wire, but they had some potential, man. I will say that. They lost a tough game to Buffalo, but the Rams, they lost a tough game as well. They lost in overtime to Matthew Stafford. He threw for 317 yards. They struggled in a red zone. I don't know, man. I don't know how. This one was tough for me to decide, and it's just another of those things. When in doubt, go home team. Kyler Murray's going to have to bounce back, man. I think that he's going to do it. It's a division game. Both teams know each other super well. It's tough to see the Rams starting 0-2, but I just think they do here. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here. They're the home team, especially. So I'm gonna pick the Cardinals here. Now we got my game, guys. We got the Cincinnati Bengals heading to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Kansas City Chiefs. So we look at the Chiefs, man. They came out of Week 1 with a win. They had some red zone inefficiencies and struggles running the ball. Patrick Mahomes, as always, he delivered big plays like when it matters most. Rookie Xavier Worthy, he looked like an absolute monster. Kansas City's defense, I mean, they held up well, man. They held up against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just did what Lamar Jackson does, but the Bengals, man, they looked out of sorts in Week 1. They lost. I think Joe Burrow threw for 164 yards, like I said. We just could not get anything going on offense. I mean, the one drive that we had something going on offense, it got fumbled at the goal line, literally. Tanner Hudson, man. Charlie Jones too. He had a punt fumble. That gave the Patriots, another field goal to make it 13-0. They finally got on the board. I think Zach Moss had a touch. Yeah, Zach Moss had the touchdown, made it 13-7, but we just could not get anything going. Cincy's defense could not stop the run game. Ramondre Stevenson, that run defense is a big issue for us, man. I won't lie. 170 rushing yards and Kansas City's explosive offense. It's just I just don't like that. I just don't like how we always start slow under Zach Taylor. And I guess you could say Joe Burrow now because it's been, a good, I think they're 1-10 in the first two games in Burrow's. You can make that 1-11. I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs, and I hate to do it because I don't like the Chiefs. I don't hate them either, but I don't like them. But it is at the end of the day, it is a rivalry game. It's two of the last three AFC Championship meetings. It's they've split in the playoffs. Bengals have obviously gotten the best of them in the regular season. Chiefs got us last year without Joe Burrow, but I don't know, man. I just don't like the way we start. We always start slow, and that really gets on my nerves. I mean, show me a reason why I should pick Cincinnati for this one. Their slow start on the road. I hate to say it, but a superior opponent in Kansas City. I got to pick the Chiefs in this one, man. I have to. I hate to do it, like I said, because I really want us to win. But yeah, unfortunately for the third straight year, I see us starting off 0-2. Hate that that's a common three, but that's how it goes. So like I said, I don't like to do this one, but we're gonna be 0-3 0-2 for the third straight year, and who knows what's gonna happen then? I mean, we played the Washington Commanders and then the Carolina Panthers, so maybe we get 2 wins there, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's a tough start yet again. Am I panicked? No. Am I worried? No. Am I frustrated? Yes. I mean, who isn't? I mean, like I said, 1-10 in the Zach Taylor era in the first 2 weeks. If that doesn't frustrate anybody, can you even call yourself a Cincinnati Bengals fan? I'm going with the Chiefs here, man. I think that Chiefs, they're explosive offense. I hate to say this, but I was gonna look at it in a way like the Bengals are pissed off coming into Kansas City, but I don't know. That offense just looks scared, and like Darren Orlovsky said today, man, it's all finesse. They're not physical. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs over the Bengals in this one. Now we go to the second 425 game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to the Mile High City to play the Denver Broncos. Taking a look at Pittsburgh's defense, they were key over the Falcons, man. TJ Watt absolutely wreaked havoc on that offensive line. He had a sack. I think he had several pressures. I know the refs, I think they cost him a sack or something. I've heard something about that. But that offense was not flashy. Justin Fields didn't look great. But those 6 field goals were enough from Chris Boswell, man. The Broncos, they struggled in week 1. I think Bo Nix had 42 passing attempts. He had 2 picks. Denver's defense actually scored 2 safeties in one half. But that offense just couldn't convert. I mean, Pittsburgh's defense, man, is just absolutely dominant. The Steelers don't have a great history in Denver, I will say that. And maybe this is Bo Nix's he get his first win. Maybe that gets his confidence rolling. But I don't know, man. That Pittsburgh defense is really good. And honestly, I think that the Steelers are, unlike another team in the AFC North, Bengals, they're aware that their schedule gets brutal and this is now the time to whack up some wins. The Bengals, we tend to just blow opportunities. But I will think about the Steelers. I mean, they're kind of like us in a way, or vice versa, because we tend to beat the easy opponent or beat the harder opponents, and lose to the easy ones. I mean, they lost to the Patriots last year too, but I don't know. Denver's defense is. I think they're going to keep them in the game. I think Justin Fields is going to play a lot better. I think the Steelers' offense will hopefully for them score some touchdowns. Broncos are still in the offensive growing pain, category, I would say. So I hate to say it because I hate the Steelers, but I'm going with the Steelers to go 2-0 to start the year. Yeah, they're going to be in first place in the AFC North because I think that obviously I had the Ravens locking up the Raiders. I had the Browns losing, so they'll fall to 0-2, and I have us falling to 0-2. So they're going to be in first place by 2 games on both Ohio teams and one over Baltimore, in my opinion. So that sucks. That's disgusting. But I mean, you got to give them credit. They should win. They should win this game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't because, like I said, they do tend to drop some of the easy ones and play down. But Denver's offensive growing pains makes me want to pick Pittsburgh here, man. So give me the Steelers over the Broncos. And we go to the Sunday game, guys. We got the Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans. Sunday Night Football. Joe Mixon, man, happy for him from Cincinnati. He had 159 yards rushing. C.J. Stroud had. He didn't look great. He looked good. He threw for over 230 yards. But Houston, it was more about controlling the clock. I mean, Mixon was the star of the show, man. I mean, he had 100 yards rushing after halftime. The Bears, they got an ugly win over the Titans. Caleb Williams did not struggle, or did struggle. He did not play that well. He threw for under 100 yards, I believe. But that Bears, that defense and special teams, man, they made up for it. They had a blocked punt return. Chicago's defense played very well. Their offense is still a question mark, in my opinion. Houston's got a balanced attack. It's their home opener. Sunday Night Football, primetime. C.J. Stroud does not melt under the pressure. Give me the Texans in this one. I was gonna lock them up, but I don't know. Raiders. I'm not high on the Raiders, and I think the Ravens are more pissed off. Texans at least they're happy coming off a divisional win on the road. So I have a little bit more confidence in the Ravens than I do the Texans, but both teams should win this, pretty good. And wrapping up, we got Monday Night Football. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles were known for having an underwhelming preseason, but they bounced back in week 1, man. Saquon Barkley had a big impact. He had 130 total yards. He had 3 touchdowns. A.J. Brown also played well. He had 100-plus receiving yards. Jalen Hurts had 3 turnovers. I believe he didn't play that well, but he did enough. The Eagles managed to secure a big win over the Packers, so good for their running game, good for Jalen Hurts, good for the Eagles. The offensive line looks a little bit shaky without, obviously, their Hall of Fame center, Jason Kelce, so we'll see how that is a work in progress as well. But the Falcons, man, they had a disastrous week 1. Or I guess Kirk Cousins, he had, 2 picks, 51 total yards in the second half against the Steelers. That's how good that defense was, and that's how putrid that Falcons offense was. So, Falcons got a lot of offensive woes, man. Kirk Cousins, he could bounce back, but he never plays well in primetime. It's against, in my opinion, a superior opponent on the road. Eagles got a powerful rushing attack, which I think is going to exploit Atlanta's weak defense and their growing pains offensively, I guess if you want to call it, even though Kirk Cousins is a veteran, so there shouldn't be really any growing pains. So I think these are 2 teams kind of heading in opposite directions, man. So I actually have the Eagles, being the Falcons pretty good here in the Battle of the Birds. They should have no problem with this one, but like I said, it's the NFL any given Sunday, any given Monday, man. So that's pretty much it. Sorry if I sound a little shaky, guys. It's really late right now. I just thought I'd get this in because I'm pretty busy the next couple days. But you guys take care, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. It means a lot. But that's kind of going to wrap up week 2, man. That's going to wrap up the week 2 picks. Hopefully I have a much better week pick-em-wise than I did last week. And shout out to all you guys watching. I got a lot of views on the week 1 picks, so I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below, man. So that those are the things that mean the world to me. It means a lot. It's always fun to come on here and do these. It's going to be fun doing this every week, man. I'm going to start trying to do this pretty often, as far as I'll probably do a video where I recap the NFL just to kind of, I guess, take my mind off the stupid Bengals losses that we are probably going to suffer this year. Maybe that'll help me out. But as far as week 2, man, that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. Let's have another great week of football, man. Good luck to all your teams. I'm out.